Hey guys, I thought I would take a minute to share another one of my pieces from the Your Story project. Just to remind you, this series is not part of my self-portrait series, The Journey. This one is actually designed to help tell other people's stories. The goal of it being to collaborate together, have a person share their struggle or something that they feel is a huge part of who they are, and then try to visually portray that. So the piece that I'm sharing today, I created with one of my beautiful friends, Brittany. I have been blessed to get to work with Brittany a lot over the years, and she's an absolute joy to work with, and I was so excited when she said she wanted to work on one of these with me. So the story for hers was the girl who's consumed with worry. And I don't think she's alone in that struggle. I know I myself have struggled with anxiety and depression in the past. And so, those thoughts that kind of keep you from feeling like you can leave the house or moving forward. I know that for me, after our house burnt down, when we finally moved back into our new home, it was really hard for me to leave sometimes because I was worried that when I'd come back, the house would be gone and I'd have to start all over again. That the things that consume your thoughts that keep you from feeling like you can move forward or change direction or whatever was kind of the idea, being trapped by your worries, being unable to shift course because of your worries. So this one has actually, I think, zero composite work. I did a couple different takes, but this was the one I ended up liking, and I can show you briefly the other idea that I had as well. I just didn't like how it was coming together. But again, this image was shot in my living room, hardwood floors, and one of my custom backdrops. And I started off, just setting up the position for Brittany, getting her wrapped up in the ropes kind of being the symbol of her worries here, and then very directional light from this direction actually, but she was also backlit a little bit too because I wanted to make sure there was separation between her and the backdrop. And then, for the setup, I just ran my basic actions. So my action that brightens everything up and adds some contrast and warmth, and then I flattened that out. I added a curves layer because these highlights were super bright and distracting. So I just brought those down, and I used a layer mask to paint on the areas that I wanted to darken down. And then I did several curves layers to really emphasize that directional light. So here's the first one, and you can see it's really narrow, mostly just on Brittany. And if you look at the curves layer, it's really just pulling down those highlights and then keeping that curve. I did a second curves layer, and this one is even darker. You can see here I brought it down almost as maybe a little bit more than the last one, but this one, the opacity was at 92. This new one's 100%, so it's emphasizing that even more, and I just really wanted to keep it very small shaft of light. Then I went to my color balance layer, and I warmed everything up some more because I do like warmer toned images. My typical levels layer, and then my typical matte layer. And then, as you've seen me do multiple times before, using a channel mixer layer. Again, black and white with the orange filter, and then setting it to a blend mode of multiply, and I dropped the opacity down to 89. You'll see again the layer mask here is emphasizing that directional light yet again. So I'm just continuing to drop it down and down and down to really showcase that the light needs to be just on her. I kind of, and one of the reasons for doing this with that super directional focused beam of light is that feeling of being trapped. If the whole room is bright, it feels less confining. But the minute you darken everything down and make it feel like there's no light around you, the only light is on the situation you're currently stuck in, it really plays into that idea of feeling stuck where you are, feeling like the only thing you can think about is the spiral that you're wrapped up in and unable to move from. and then my vignette. And so you can see there's zero composite work that happened in this image, but I still think it tells the story really well. Just for context, the other image that I played with, excuse me, was this one. And it's not bad, but I didn't feel like it was as powerful as the image that we did create. Tell me what you think. Do you think I captured the idea well? What would you have done differently? I would love to read your thoughts in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this little peek into an image I created for my friend Brittany. If you have any questions or things you'd like to share, I'd love to hear about them, and I will see you guys again soon.